Well, fill it with gas, fill it with oil, check the water, we're ready to roll. It's got no buzzers, no flashing lights, just let you know when it feels alright. One side looks like an old tin can and the foot's held down with rubber bands. We tell it our problems and it understands as we roll along the highway. We all drive an old yellow Datsun with one green door.
Finding lots of tools around though. I mentioned, I guess, a couple videos back, I found some nice small, very small blades from some kind of a tool my father-in-law had, and here's a real basic one. Looks like it's maybe been used 2-3 times, if that. Here's a brand new one, never been on the machine. You can tell it's never been mounted. Slightly bigger. It's small. I would think it's likely for laminate or something. And some of the, they're a little rusty, but there's nothing wrong with them. I likely have the tools sitting in a box that I've never sorted. But one of the things I found, and I've used these before, in fact I've used this very blade before. How many people have seen a triangular shaped saw blade? What the heck would you use that for? This is for cutting corners with a circular saw. You set it for just barely the depth, and because there's all this open area, you can actually cut an arc or a curve using a circular saw because of the triangular shaped blade. Not many people have those, and I have cut circles with a regular one, and it's not easy. And normally people would use a jigsaw. Well, my father-in-law, because he liked tools so much and he worked at Sears, every time something came out he had to have one, and so he'd buy one. And whenever they had clearance sales, he would buy up a bunch of clearance stuff. So he ended up with all sorts of unusual tools that some people would never use, and some people, wouldn't even know what they were. I'll show you something else that, talking about the saw blades. This is the selection of saw blades that I have. I know it's hard to see in the dark, but if you look, I had them actually made the holder for it, but I've got them all lined up, and I've written down their size and the teeth per blade. So I got the 10-inch blades, 9-inch, 7 1/4, 7s, 6 1/2, and I got a couple of dado blades as well. Also found a couple of these discs. Here I go with the camera angle again. Got 2 of these. What are they for? Circular saw stabilizer. If you got a blade that's wobbling all over, or you need a dead perfect cut, I guess you put 1 or 2 of these on and it stiffens up the blade. It's just another one of those things my father-in-law had lying around the garage. Having tools is important. If you fix your own stuff, work on your own house, you have to have tools. You can buy slightly cheaper tools for home use than, say, a professional can. You can get away with that. But, most of my tools when I was working were lifetime guarantee. When I was working as a mechanic, I had a lot of Mac and Snap-on tools. And my home tools, Craftsman, still lifetime warranty. Motomaster, which is the Canadian Tire brand, which also has a lifetime guarantee. Tools like that, Westward and Gray. It made a lot of sense for me. I used the tools a lot, and they'd break and wear out, and then I could get a warranty on it. But for my race car box, the tools I had were from a company started in Winnipeg called Princess Auto, and they had a line of tools called Power Fist. And those tools are basically very inexpensive Chinese-made tools that they work fine. Thing is, they're very inexpensive, but they also have a warranty on them too, the same warranty. Thing is, you're only paying 50% or 30% sometimes on what you're buying. The price is so much lower. So my racing toolbox had mostly those, because if you'd lent out a wrench or something and they forgot to bring it back, or you dropped one and it went into the snow or into the ice and you forgot to pick it up or didn't pick it up or it got lost, you're not losing a $10 or $12 wrench, you're losing a $2 wrench. When you buy tools, buy what you can afford. If you're going to use them a lot, then save up the money. Instead of buying a lot, buy a few, but buy better quality stuff. If you want tools, you can certainly get tools at garage sales or yard sales and pawn shops. Look for the ones that have those names, because you'll find them there. I found several Craftsman tools just last weekend at a yard sale. Lifetime warranty on them, but I got them for basically thrown in because I bought 3 Makita powerless or cordless drills. 3 drills, 2 batteries, and a charger for, I think I paid $20, and the guy threw all these 6 or 8 screwdrivers and a couple of wrenches in with it. And the wrenches and screwdrivers, being Craftsman, they're all lifetime guarantee. And what I'll do with them is I'll take the, of course some of them get rusty, and I'll take them and clean them up, and the best ones will stay with me, and the next best ones will go to my sons, or maybe they'll get the better ones because I'm starting to wind down a little bit. It cost me almost nothing to get them, and I provide fairly decent tools for my kids to use when they're here or when they're at home. Another thing I tend to do is keep old tools around. I guess I'm a collector of tools. People think I'm crazy sometimes, but here's an example here. This is from 1991, I believe, or 92. I don't know. I can't read. I'm blind as a bat. But this is a set of Snap-on screwdrivers, and it's 70th anniversary commemorative set. It's got nice badges on it saying it's the 70th anniversary. I don't know if you can focus on that. But, a set of 4 brand new screwdrivers, still in the package. And I guess I'm so much of a pack rat that I even keep unopened brand new tools. Yeah, it's a commemorative set. Mechanics buy funny things sometimes, but it's Snap-on and Mac sells stuff like that. going to show you what I mean about wrenches. Westward wrenches, I believe, have a lifetime warranty on them. I can't remember. And nice wrench. This is what you'd call a combination wrench. Forged steel, has the side or the number on there for identifying the size and everything. Mom's back with my Slurpee. Mastercraft, Canadian Tire brand. They have two lines of tools. This is their base model. Nice wrench. It's got a kind of a matte finish on it. But you can see here, it's a little bit thicker than just a little bit thicker than the Westward wrench. And the Westward wrench is of course larger, but it's a little bit thicker. Stuff I videotaped when you were here, I didn't realize the tape had run out.
Aww.
Because I had forgot to rewind it when I started it.
Oh well. You're getting hot, you should come in.
I'll wait to in just a few minutes.
Yeah, pressure's there.
Okay. Do that.
Good. Don't make it too fast.
I won't. Brain freeze. Okay, tool quality. Another brand, Fuller. Also a good wrench, but you can see that didn't take much and the chrome flaked off and it's rusting. You kind of get what you pay for. This is the older style Craftsman wrenches. They kind of look like the Westward wrenches. Very similar. Flip it around so you can actually read the makes on them. So you can see they're very similar the way the handle's built, with the built-up flatten area. But once again, the box end a little bit thicker. This is why you hear mechanics buying Mac or Snap-on tools, and you get what you pay for. They're a lot more expensive, but there's a number of reasons for that. Number one reason is that they come to you, and it saves you having to take time off work if you break a wrench. If you break one, you phone them, and they'll show up and exchange it, and they come and you can shop right in the truck when they pull up. But here's. See if it's focusing on that or not. It's a Snap-on, 1/2 inch combination wrench. But if you see here, it is thinner than the other wrenches. I'm going to get okay. Here's the 1/2 inch Craftsman versus the 1/2 inch Snap-on wrench. Okay, you can see this is the Snap-on here, and it's a lot thinner walled, so it could fit where the nuts and bolts are a little tighter. The finish is a little, it's a polished chrome. Craftsman's new line of tools has gone to that as well, and that's also the way the back tools were. But when you feel the wrenches, they're just, they feel balanced. They feel better in your hand. They don't seem, when you really try to torque with the open end, so like the Fuller one there. The reason the chrome flaked off is because this actually would flex open when you're putting torque on it. And with the Snap-on, you don't get that. It doesn't torque open. If it does, it's because it's going to fail, and then you will turn it in for a replacement. My Craftsman tools, the majority of them I've had for 35 years. I bought them as a teenager when I had my first car. So in short, you're buying tools. Spend what you can afford. Think of what you're using it for. I'm going to go in, it's starting to get hot. I think I'll pull stuff in and turn the air on and go in and let the garage cool down a bit. So it's up to 80 now, which is 27 I think, because I think 28 is 82. Somewhere in there. And the humidity is still up, pushing 60%, so warmer than I can take. If you're going to buy a tool for single use, you don't need to buy expensive. You need to buy what's going to get the job done, but not real cheap stuff. You know, you don't want it to break for sure the first time and only time you need it, then have to go and buy another one. So you can buy a lesser brand like I have with my Power Fist tools from Princess Auto. You know, they work fine. For the race car, it was great, and you know, I've broken one or two and replaced them, and would snap on the Mac. I've broken screwdrivers. I've never broken a wrench, a Mac or snap-on wrench. I've broken a couple of sockets and some screwdrivers where the tips break or strip off, and I've never had trouble replacing them. I've had to replace all of my Craftsman ratchets several times because they wear out, and I'm very meticulous with my ratchets. I take them apart fairly regularly and clean the grease and grit out and properly lubricate them and put them back together. And that makes a big difference with how long the tools last, so it's a good thing to do. When I put my tools away, part of the reason I leave them lying out is I don't like to just throw them back in the box dirty. I will actually put them by the bench, usually on my little rolling table I have, and I'll clean them when I'm putting them away. And I'm not just cleaning them so I don't have a greasy drawer, but every time I clean them, I'm actually inspecting them for damage, because you don't want to have something you broke or is maybe starting to fatigue and crack, and then you finally have a job, you're doing something and you need that tool, and you go and grab it and put it on, and you give it a little pull or whatever it is, and it breaks like a hammer handle. You see it starting to split, replace it. Don't tape it together. I have one or two that are taped, but they're taped because I needed them, the cushioning, because where I was hammering was a sharp edge, and I didn't want the hammer handle to get a nick in it. So by throwing a few layers of electrical tape on, that took the blow, instead of making damage to the handle. And then I just didn't bother taking the tape off. You got to take care of your tools, though. Knowing how to use them is just part of the battle. Just one more thing before I go in, you know. There's not too many garages that have air conditioning, but you know, I don't just have air conditioning. I have air conditioning that's remote controlled.
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.